Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of the Just Us Marks Wrestling Recap Show. I am the Athletic Geek, joined this week by EZ.
Hello, everyone.
And, it's a big show. We're coming off the Royal Rumble. If you've never seen the show before, this is the Just Us Marks Wrestling Recap Show. I met EZ at All In and StarCast. We love wrestling. We love talking about wrestling. We love sharing our love of pro wrestling with each and every one of you out there. However, just like each and every one of you out there, we are just fans. Our opinions of that of any other fan. Because we avoid insider terms. At the end of the day, we're not wrestlers. We're not insiders. We're just a bunch of marks. And
we doing the speed round of the show? Wow.
Oh, yeah. It's
all good. It's all good. Not judging. It's like, wow.
Yep. But the first and foremost, we have prizes to give away, and I think that's what most people are going to want to see. We had a three-way perfect score. We had Bob, who entered on Instagram. We have Dalton, who entered on Facebook, along with Noah, who also entered on Facebook.
Castle, is it?
What's up?
Not Dalton Castle, is it?
No, I wish, though. That'd be pretty cool. Dalton Anthony, who's also really cool. Check out his wrestling work. He is really awesome. Check out the three podcasts we've done, two about his wrestling career and one about action figures. So check those out on the channel. So, first place is... It is Dalton. Dalton gets first place. So check out those podcasts and... So, second place. Oh, we lost one of the things fell out. Okay, got him.
Uh-oh.
I was jingle jangling. Second place is Noah. So Bob gets third. Congratulations to all of our entrants. Let's get the third place comic book out for Bob, and it is a Flash number 773. And for Noah, he wins a Batman The Adventures Continue number 2. And the figure he wins is a Farouk figure.
Ooh. Damn.
And the figure that Dalton wins is a Conan WCW figure. The comic book is, and I know he's hoping it's something with Cyclops in it, so maybe we'll do something good.
Another Conan figures, period. Wow.
Well, he doesn't get Cyclops, but he gets a Green Lantern comic book. And t-shirt. Oh, let's get the DVD.
DNA never made action figures, did they?
Oh, yeah, they did.
Oh, they did? Okay.
Yeah.
Just curious.
The DVD is a NWA Wildside Best of War Games DVD.
Oh.
Yeah. We got some stars on here from back in the early days, like Jimmy Rave, Hernandez, AJ Styles. So, some early work from them. And the t-shirt... It's the right side. Yep, there's... The t-shirt is... a Shayna Baszler t-shirt. So, thank you all for entering. I'll figure out a place to put this. There, I'll set it right here. Yeah, thank you all for entering. And now let's talk about the Royal Rumble. Men's Royal Rumble match. I thought it was great. I think it's not the best. I can think of at least four, maybe five that it's better than, but I think it's solid. I thought Gunther's Iron Man performance was amazing. A lot of people were mad about Cody Rhodes coming at number 30. I thought, well, since he was going to get probably the biggest reaction, why not? I thought it was good. A lot of people didn't like it, and some of that I just chalk up to sour grapes for, oh, well, it's Cody Rhodes, and oh, well, it's...
I mean, it really didn't matter whether he was going to be at number 30 or at number 1. Really didn't matter. So, and yeah, I will admit, all of us were saying it was either going to be Cody or Sammy. Like, I still was hoping Sammy was going to be in this.
But he had something, but to be fair, Sammy had something much bigger planned for the end, yeah.
We'll get to that. So, is it just me or there were more Raw stars in this than SmackDown? Yeah, there were.
There were.
Yeah. I don't know, I thought it used to be like, you could get like 10... Well, here's what I would do. Like 10 from SmackDown, 10 from Raw, 5 from NXT, and then 5, surprise entries.
See, I'm going to really piss some people off. I don't think anyone from NXT should be in it.
And why is that? I'm not mad. I'm just like...
because you aren't like... Okay, especially now that NXT is definitely... This isn't the NXT of old, where you had big stars in there and it felt like a separate brand. NXT is definitely a developmental brand. You know what you do in a developmental brand? Develop. Meaning you're not ready for the stage yet. Now, if you're going to be called up to the main roster, like if by this time next year they put Braun Breaker on the main roster and they want to debut him in the Royal Rumble, that's cool. But if you're in a developmental brand, you should not be part of one of the biggest pay-per-views of the year. You shouldn't. The Memphis Redbirds don't get World Series rings when the Cardinals win the World Series. You're not on that team yet. You are not in the main roster team, therefore you should not be in this match. The only kind of exception you can do is the women's, because there's not enough women on the roster to fill it out. So they have to go to NXT. But the men's, where there's enough roster members and then some, yeah. There is, no. It's just...
I mean, I was still pretty excited, like, when I saw the 2019 Royal Rumble and Johnny Gargano was in it. It's like, oh my god, yes. Even though, like, he wasn't going to win it, but it was still pretty cool. And then same thing with Candice LeRae being in the Women's Rumble.
And back then there was enough star power, and, NXT was essentially a separate brand of, like, on par with the main roster. Depending on how WWE felt that day. But no, especially now where they don't have the star power on NXT. They don't have people ready for that spotlight, quite frankly. There should be no NXT men in the Men's Royal Rumble. You are in developmental. Go develop, and then when it's your time, go.
Or it would still, like, again, I'm not, like, trying to, like, argue that NXT should still be in it, but it would still be, like, a good introduction to certain, like, top-notch superstars that, they're in the potential of getting called up to either Raw or SmackDown. Give, like, the first taste of, hey, here's who you should be, like, following on NXT, and then, more people can go check out the brand. Similar, like, when Adam Cole was in the Rumble, though despite getting, like, a really bad commentator reaction, more on that later. But everyone knew, oh my god, Adam Cole is in the Rumble. Like, he's on NXT. I can't wait to see him, shine out in Raw and SmackDown, which...
See, I don't think anybody's ready, though. I don't think you should be in the Royal Rumble until you're ready. You need to be ready. You need to be ready to. If you are not ready to be called up and going to be called up, you shouldn't be there. Especially now. Especially now. And yeah, I just to me, developmental's developmental. If you're gonna clearly make NXT the developmental brand, it's developmental. Back in 2018, 2019, when they used Gargano and Cole and all those different people, they were trying to make it a third brand, depending on what day of the week it was. Some days it was, oh, this is just developmental, and some days it was, no, we're not developmental. We're the best brand in wrestling, and depending on your taste, you could agree or disagree with that. But yeah, no.
All right.
But I like the match. I like kind of how they played off of the feuds. I liked Drew and Sheamus teaming up for part of it. I think Kofi really needs to stop his "I'm eliminated, no I'm not," because that's 2 years in a row that it got fucked up. So maybe it's time to retire this. I like the Lashley and Lesnar portion of it, with Lesnar being eliminated early by Lashley. I think that's good for that program. A lot of people complain about, well, why if Ray was hurt and wasn't able to compete, why waste a spot on him? Because it also furthered the Dominic feud, which is good.
How was Brock Lesnar only in the Rumble for 2 minutes and 28 seconds?
He was in it, and then Bobby Lashley came in and eliminated him.
Wow, that's a shocker.
They have a storyline going on.
That's true. That's true.
So that makes sense.
It's Baron Corbin in it for 7 seconds. That's funny.
Everybody played well off one another. Gunther was amazing. This is going to piss someone off on this call, but Ricochet Logan Paul had an amazing part of the match. And yeah, Edge made his return. They did the stuff with Judgment Day and Edge and kept that going. And that was a great Rumble.
Gunther also set a new Rumble tradition by being in the ring for 1 hour, 11 minutes and 44 seconds, breaking the record from Rey Mysterio from 2006. Funny enough, when he won it, from 1 hour and 12 minutes and 15 seconds. So good on you, Gunther. You'll be my pick for next year.
Maybe, yeah.
Please. As we get the real name back, but that's just me.
Bray Wyatt and LA Knight in the Mountain Dew Pitch Black match. That happened. Bianca Belair and Alexa Bliss.
I saw that. Stage explosion. I'm like, the fuck is that?
It was dumb. This part was stupid. Bianca Belair and Alexa Bliss. This wasn't one of Bianca's best defenses. This was the epitome of this is a stopgap title defense, and that's literally what it was. Women's Royal Rumble match. Rhea Ripley goes the distance. She's the Iron Woman starting at number 1. And Liv Morgan starting at number 2. Both women going the distance, and Rhea Ripley.
Has that ever happened in the Rumble? I'm thinking.
What do you mean? Number 1?
Number 1 and number 2 started and finished the Royal Rumble.
Yes.
Okay.
This is the first time in the Women's Rumble. It happened first in '95 with Shawn Michaels and the British Bulldog, but it was a shorter Rumble because they only had 1 minute intervals, so they don't really talk about that as much. But yes, the Shawn Michaels British Bulldog Rumble, they were both number 1 and number 2. That was also when the big 1 foot or both feet must touch the ground because Shawn Michaels was eliminated, but only 1 foot touched the ground, so he was able to come back in and eliminate Bulldog.
They always find the rules weird. It's like, okay, if 1 foot, you have 1 foot on the ground, but your other's still in the air, you're still in the match. But I don't know.
What's weird about that?
I don't know. I feel like it's like, in football, if your foot's out of balance, but, your whole body is still in balance, well, your play's dead. Or,
This is wrestling, and it's easier to tell stories in wrestling with
fair.
1 foot touched the ground, but the other did not.
Better than having two winners because they both landed at the same time, Luger and Hart, which I'm not going to talk about that at all.
Actually,
I mean, storyline-wise, it is interesting.
It made sense. It was an experiment. It didn't work. They moved on.
Yeah. Oh, sure. And then when Batista and John Cena had that screw-up, we couldn't have co-winners.
Well, and, the difference is that was a screw-up. The Luger and Brett was meant to be that way.
True. Yeah, and then Vinnie Mac touring his quads, which is the highlight of the Rumble.
Chelsea Green made her return to WWE and got eliminated in 5 seconds.
Yay!
And Nia Jax was number 30, and it was awful.
See when AIW, Chelsea?
It was awful.
Oh, and she did get signed. Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
Went back to the Indies. That's why.
Well, Nia Jax might have been signed, and I don't know how many people want that, but
Michelle McCool coming back. She was awesome.
And then finally we have the main event. Roman Reigns defeated Kevin Owens. The match itself was kind of what it needed to be. It's not going to be anything that's going to make Dave Meltzer reach climax, but the match itself was what it needed to be because it was not really about the match as much as it was about what would happen after the match.
Yeah.
This is probably one of the best segments that WWE has for sure done in quite some time, and maybe even one of the best segments in wrestling in quite some time.
I would say this was definitely probably one of the best endings to a pay-per-view in recent memory.
Yeah. You have big beatdown on Kevin Owens. They handcuff Kevin Owens to the ropes. Roma is going to beat the shit out of Kevin Owens with a chair. Sammy stops saying, hey, we've already proved our point. We don't need to continue to do this. Roman's pissed off, gives the chair to Sammy and says, prove your loyalty, you do it. Sammy hesitates, and then he hits Roman Reigns with the chair.
Okay, I'm starting to say this, but the way that just Roman, got hit by the chair, it actually made me laugh so hard. He didn't really just fall down. He really just got hit by the chair, fell, and then kind of just sat in between his knees. It's like, dude, you just got smacked by a chair here. I know you're supposed to be this superhuman strong, but
that's exactly, he's superhuman strong.
True, but when Seth Rollins, backstabbed him, he looked like he got knocked out.
He wasn't superhuman strong then. He wasn't superhuman strong. Wasn't the tribal chief then. He didn't have as much of an aura about him.
I don't know. It just looked laughable, just the way Sammy betrayed him. But I don't know. I think it could have been tweaked just a tiny bit, but that's just me. Personally, I think it would have been better if it was just Roman beating down on Sammy.
No,
that, okay,
how would that have been better? Because we needed the storyline is eventually Sammy's getting tired of this. Sammy's getting tired of being questioned. He's done everything the Bloodline asked of him, and he got put on public trial, despite him literally doing everything for the Bloodline, and he's fed up with it, and that was the final straw.
Okay. I have a better way of tweaking it. He takes, even though, the Usos have tried defending him, he instead of he smacks Roman, he smacks Jimmy.
Why would he
He
smack
smacks
Jimmy? Jimmy was
Well, he
always
attacked-
nice to him. His
Okay,
beef was with Roman questioning his allegiance, not with
Well,
Jimmy,
you
who's
can
always
say,
been
okay,
nice to him.
Or it could be, okay, where's my allegiance stance. Starts being up the Usos first, and then I say that's where my allegiance stance, and then him and Roman try to duke it out, and then you just have Sammy, I guess, I don't know.
But
for cover,
but
so
that
let's-
takes away from the next part of it when, with Jimmy Uso being the one guy who didn't
meant to
take
say
part in the
Jay,
beat down afterwards. Jimmy Uso, the guy, or Jay Uso rather, the one guy that always hated Sammy, number one, came to his defense when he was put on public trial, and number two, is the guy who, with all of this, and everybody took their shot. Jimmy, who liked him, well, okay, the tribal chief, he turned on the tribal chief. I don't like him anymore. Solo, being Solo, as the enforcer, carried out the tribal chief's wishes. It was Jey Uso, who didn't like Sammy, has now defended him and then refused to beat him down. That's kind of the big selling, to me, that was the big selling point of this whole beatdown is, it's Jay. The hardest one to come around is the one that doesn't...
I meant to say Jay, because I got the names mixed up, so that was on me.
I'm saying, why would Sammy turn on Jay when Jay's now the one defending him? This whole thing was not about Jimmy and Jay anymore. It's about he is mad at Roman. He has done everything Roman has asked of him, and now, and still being told, you're not with the bloodline. You got to prove your allegiance. And now, finally, Sammy is fed up with Roman.
Well, at least in the time being, nearly predicting the future that we might have Roman, Sammy, and Cody possibly.
That'd be a terrible call. And I'm going to tell you why.
Unless they're actually finally going to split the belts again.
Yeah, if they split the belts, it's fine.
Doubt it.
That would be the best call to make, but that'd be a bad call because you want to bring Cody Rhodes in as this big, huzzah return. And then if he's the one that wins, people are... Basically, you put yourself in the Kobayashi Maru. You put yourself in a no-win scenario. People are going to be mad in that three-way match that either Cody didn't win or Sammy didn't win. So instead of having a great heroic reaction to one of them winning the big one, you're going to have a, yeah! And the other guy going, boo! That's what you would get in a triple threat. It's not like the triple threat with Daniel Bryan, where there were two bad guys against him, or it's not like the triple threat with some guy, Shawn Michaels and Triple H, where Shawn was just kind of a de facto bad guy for the night. A little bit more neutral and not quite as evil as Triple H, but he was the bad guy for the night. If they go with the triple threat, you're just setting up for half the audience to be angry. Because half the audience already is angry. Now, if they split the belts, or do Sammy's title shot at Elimination Chamber in Montreal,
that's what I'm thinking.
You got something there.
For either the Universal or World Heavyweight Championship, you put Roman in there, he's only defending one of his belts. Sammy wins it at Chamber, and then Roman can fight Cody or something. My problem would be, who would Sammy fight? If he is champion, let's say, hypothetically speaking, he wins the title at Elimination, so who would his Mania opponent be? Would it be Kevin Owens?
It could be Kevin. It could be one of the Usos. It could be...
It's a big maybe.
Yeah, Cody has to win the WWE title. If you're going to split the belts, Cody has to win that one because he says he wants to win the belt that got taken from his dad. The Universal title didn't exist then. The WWE title, it was called something different, but that lineage was around then. So that's the belt.
The World Heavyweight Championship then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right.
That was the belt that Dusty thought he won in Madison Square Garden, but it turned out that He won by DQ, so he didn't win the belt. That's the one that got taken from his dad. That's the one his dad never got a fair shake at again. That's the belt that he was referring to. So that's what it's got to be. If Cody's going to win one, it has to be that one.
Yeah.
All right, now it's time to talk about Dynamite.
It is. It is at least getting me low-key excited about Mania. So, would I attend? Not really. Maybe the Philly one for next year.
I'm not going to. I'm not going to LA.
I know. I was thinking out loud.
I'll never go to LA.
Yeah, I like LA.
I don't.
Okay.
For a number of reasons, but
You know, there is another school not called USC.
there's also the Rams, and whenever I was a kid watching the NBA, the Lakers.
I like the Lakers too.
I hate the Lakers.
All right.
I hate California.
So even if Auto Club Speedway is going to turn into the half mile,
Yeah, no.
All right.
Yeah, no. If I never go to California, I would be completely okay with that. Except for Comic-Con in San Diego. That'd be the one thing I'd do.
All right.
All right. Dynamite. Starts off
Oh, man. Let the emotions begin.
Chris Jericho and Sammy Guevara versus Ricky Starks and Action Andretti. This is a good match. Andretti looked good, but ended up losing. You'd almost think this match was the Indy 500.
Yeah. And side note, Action Andretti is not related to the Andrettis.
I know, but if he's gonna go with that name, if he's gonna go with the name Andretti, I'm gonna make these jokes anytime I get a chance. Good match, good way to feature everybody involved. Sidebar: Ricky Starks was backstage with Cody at Royal Rumble, so I guess Ricky Starks to WWE confirmed, or Ricky Starks is a traitor confirmed, however you want to look at it.
Yeah.
But yeah, good match, good feature of Starks and Andretti, but JAS win to keep the story, keep the story going. They needed the win, and they got it.
Yeah.
TNT Championship match: Darby Allin versus Buddy Matthews.
This was a great match. I loved this.
It was good, not great to me. Buddy Matthews, I get he's doing stuff at the House of Black, but I actually liked him better in WWE. I feel like he did better work, on NXT than he did in AEW.
And especially 205 Live.
Yeah, he just kind of, I don't...
Him, we see him winning the Cruiserweight Championship at Mania. That was awesome.
To me, this is kind of like the Andrade signing, where it's everybody's like, oh my God, finally, we're going to get, the shackles are off, and it's just, I don't see it.
Yeah, and just like Miro, we don't know where the hell Andrade's been. I don't know if he's hurt or...
I think he's hurt.
Okay.
I'm
sorry, I'm wrong. Tony Nese defeated Buddy Murphy for the Cruiserweight Championship.
Yeah, but still, that was a good match, a great pre-show match at WrestleMania.
Yeah. And Kurt Hawkins, Zack Ryder.
Oh, hey, I forgot one more thing. It just dawned on me. I forgot one thing for the prizes. Sorry, Dalton.
Oh.
Because I forgot, you got perfect and I didn't, so you get a bonus prize. And that bonus prize is a Mike Kanellis autograph picture. With the
you know what? Autographs are so cool.
Yeah. He's holding the 24/7 championship, too. So I hyped that up for Mike Kanellis autograph picture.
And that's the closest that Kanellis will win for a championship, sadly. Sorry, Maria. Still love you.
Mike Bennett might win something in Ring of Honor.
You know, I wish Maria won something when she was on WWE the first time.
Nah, I don't think she need to win anything. The dogs agree. Jungle Hook versus Ethan Page and Matt Hardy. I didn't like it. And I like everybody involved, but just something wasn't clicking.
I'm just not understanding the story arc here. And
it's not very good.
I think it's almost like the Hookhausen hype that, yeah, it looked amazing. Now it's like, so now what?
Yeah.
Is this just a way to sell T-shirts?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not feeling it. Brian Cage versus Bryan Danielson. Bryan Danielson's Bryan's explodes, if you will.
We did forget one thing that Samoa Joe wants to go after the TNT Championship again against Darby. We missed that, but all good. We're just human.
Yeah, and just kind of okay. Like, it'll be cool. I'm sure they'll have a good match, but
yeah,
Samoa Joe's going to throw Darby around, and it's going to look sick. But it's neither here nor there. Brian Cage and Bryan Danielson, the Battle of the Bryans. This was good. It's definitely the weakest, and I'm not even saying this is like a knock on Brian Cage, but it has been the weakest of the matches so far. It was a good changing of pace to have Danielson in there with a big guy, but just wasn't as good as the Takeshita or the Bandito match. But I don't know anything else. What'd you think?
Where's the Bryan and Cage match? It wasn't on Dynamite, was it?
Yes, it was.
Okay, no, because it looks like AEW didn't upload it.
Yeah, it was in.
Trying to look over the highlights, but okay then.
All right. Toni Storm wrestled Ruby Soho. Ruby Soho wins, which is great because she needed a win big time. Match was good. Had an assist with Britt Baker's. It was supposed to be a triple threat match with Britt Baker, but she was hurt. But she did cause the distraction for Ruby Soho to beat Toni Storm. So, fun little spot.
Yeah, and this is where things are now going to be confusing with me. And so it's like, okay, wait. So Tony's the bad girl, and another bad girl, Britt Baker, comes in, distracts her, even though, like, you know, Ruby's on the good side, and Ruby and Britt have had their history, and you let Ruby win? It's like, okay then. Logic. I don't know. It's just confusing. Mind is confusing.
Yeah. I don't think it's that confusing because Britt Baker spent weeks getting shit on by Saraya before their pay-per-view match, so
are we now going to see a good girl Britt, or
at least kind of an uneasy alliance with the rest of the originals, which, you know, she did the interview talking about kind of standing up for everything that they worked for when Saraya wasn't there. So, yeah, they're probably going to use her in that role. So, the main event and the best match of the night, and the thing that made the show memorable to me, Mark Briscoe versus Jay Lethal. It was a really good match, but this is one that wasn't about, you know, the quality of the match. It was about, you know, Mark having a match for Jay. Broke my heart to see him out there with both those tag belts.
Yeah, this put me to tears.
Yeah.
And even, like, Lethal and Sanjay
Singh. Oh, they were already... Sanjay Dutt and Jay Lethal were crying before the match even began.
Sorry, I don't know why I said Singh. Yeah. Like, because you know, especially the long history Lethal and the Briscoes have had with each other, and you just gotta find that.
Yeah, you gotta watch this. It's a great tribute. Glad that they finally let Mark wrestle on TNT or TBS or whatever the fuck it's on now. The TNT title is defended more on TBS, and the TBS title is defended more on TNT. But yeah, this was great. Great tribute.
And also, Ring of Honor did upload their entire tribute show. I did see at least half of it.
I haven't seen it yet.
Watch it. It is amazing. And they do have highlights from certain famous Jay Briscoe matches. He's had matches with Adam Cole. Actually, let me actually find that. So I'm assuming that my fellow host here might have seen. Let me see where they got. Okay, yeah. So they have. It was Adam Cole versus Jay Briscoe.
Yeah, Jay beat Adam Cole
battle.
for the ROH title once.
And then Survival of the Fittest 2016, CD, Christopher Daniels and Jay Briscoe. Then there was another one here. Final Battle 2006, a tag match between the Briscoes and the Kings of Wrestling.
That was a really good match. I remember that one.
Yeah. So
I remember that one vividly because that's one of my favorite matches.
Onto YouTube. And they did some speaking with, memories from Samoa Joe, which I've never ever seen him cry that much. It was heartbreaking. There's also some interviews with other Ring of Honor talent. But, yeah, you gotta watch it. It is heartwarming and just another good reason, just to reach out to your loved ones and just remember about them because, you never know. Sometimes, life indeed is insanely short. That's the best way I can put it.
Yes. But, yeah.
So I'm not crying. It's like it's stuck in my throat.
But, yeah, that is nothing really we can say, but... Yeah, definitely check out that show. And, thank you all for tuning in, and I'm not even going to do the show, because we just need to check that stuff out. And also, someone posted a part of Mark giving Jay's eulogy, and that's a really cool story. So we'll see you next time.